I'd like to address myself to the people of the Philippines and of course to the media. Sa lahat ng mga kababayan natin, katabi ko po yung ating heroine sa Olympics sa Brazil. And siya yung nanalo sa silver weightlifting. She got the silver for the long time na wala tayong medalya sa Pilipinas. So really, it came as a surprise. And I was also watching her. And I was really scared when she was struggling to pull the weights. At when she was able to do it, I was almost shouted that alam ko na we were fighting for this silver medal. So it is with great pride and to our honor, we share the honor with her. Na I'd like to present to you Hidilyn Diaz, isang Buanganya. Tumindig ka. Stand up. And if you'd like to ask questions, you can do it, and she would gladly answer your questions. Okay. By the way, she got a 5 million prize for winning, and I just added another 2 million, so she gets about 3 million. Okay. Kaya kayong mga media, you strive to alam mo, para let's give her a chance to talk. You address the ating bayan, mga Pilipino na bumilib sa iyo.
Nagpapasalamat po ako sa inyo, sa nagdasal, sumuporta at naniwala sa akin. Nung last August 7, na iwagayway ko ang bandila ng Pilipinas sa Olympics. Naipakita ko na kaya nating mga Pilipinong manalo sa Olympics.
Well, in not so many words, yun talaga. If we just put in the discipline in any field with hindi naman some tools, but a little help from the national government in the budget, we'd be able to get some miracles and surprises along the way. We not as yet developed as in other countries where you have the facilities and almost they train, and also in some countries they're paid to do that, just train. They have nothing to worry about where the next meal, or they have nothing to worry about where the next money might be for any need in the family. And these are the things that they go into the training, not a worry about anything else, but focus and focus on the training itself. So we would like to just say a few words about sports development. We would need facilities, and Butch has a very good plan. They'd put it up somewhere in Negros and Zamboanga, and maybe yung grassroots. Then we can get the talents from in other places, because historically it has always been Manila was the epicenter of all our athletes there. And hardly if any talent would get noticed from government, especially in the far-flung areas in the Philippines. The plan is good because it would attract as many people, and maybe give others a chance, also a break to participate in the training itself. The facilities would be put up, and we would encourage everybody, our young children, to train there for any discipline that you'd want to be trained for. So with this, if there are questions, we would like to tell you now that do it because I still have to eat. But it's
Okay.
10, wala siya, pati ako, wala pang kain. So,
Okay.
maybe 3 hours would be enough for everybody to ask the question.
One question, one follow-up. First question from Ian Cruz of GMA 7.
Hello, good evening, Mr. President, and
Yes.
to Mr. Ramirez, and congratulations po, Ms. Hidilyn. Ang first question, sir, aside dun sa sinasabi ni Hidilyn na gusto niya magtayo ng center ng weightlifting dun sa kanilang lugar.
Yes, ang bongga. I will agree. I will agree. Because I said, if we pour in all the facilities in the Greater Manila area, we would not be able to cultivate a good Filipino to train. There's a fire somewhere? No, it's okay. I'm just joking. Nga naman, di okay mabiro eh. So, yes, I would agree with her plans. Para yung iba naman na probinsya mapagbigyan ng attention and also to give focus to the sports. Maybe you'll be able to harness good athletes.
To Miss Diaz po. Miss Diaz, nabanggit
Kandi, wala mo yung, mahina mo ang boses mo. Wala ka pa rin kain, o sira yung ano.
Miss Diaz, nabanggit po ninyo na 2014 yung sabi nga toughest year for you. Can you narrate to us bakit nasabi mo to, and nasabi mo din sa mga interview na nakakuha ka ng inspiration kay Presidente nung nag-send off tayo dun sa Malacanang. Thank you.
2014 ang pinakamahirap na yugto siguro ng career ko. Kasi nagka-injury ako. Tapos natanggal yung former coach ko. Tapos di ako na-qualified for Asian Games. Then, di din ako nakapaglaro sa World Championship. So, yun. Siyempre, nakaka-inspire na nagka-send off party kami sa Malacanang with President Digong. Kasi pinapakita niya lang na may support, binibigyan niya kami ng suporta. Yun.
Well, maybe the inspiration was, sabi ko kasi sa kanila, ano ba yung sabi ko? Huwag kayong umuwi pag hindi kayo manalo. Just joking. Sabi ko, do your best for your country. The honor is there. Go for it. It would be a long quest. It would be a tedious one. But I said, if you can bring some honor to your country, I'd be happy. That's what I was. It was a short party, a short program actually.
Thank you po.
Okay. Next question from Ina Andulong of CNN.
Oh, nabigla pa. Di siguro niya alam
Good evening, sir. First for Mr. The PSC Chairman, Mr. Ramirez, can you expound a little on the facility that you want to put up? What will it include? Billeting? As young as how old are we looking at to start training the athletes? And can you give us more specifics about it? And how soon do you want it built?
I would look at it and anchor my discussion on the direction of the President that we are setting to a federal government.
Mm-hmm.
And because of this, the Philippine Sports Commission under the Office of the President will be crafting the first Institute of Sports, which is the missing link of Philippine sports. And out of this, it can create a genuine grassroots sports program where we are talking about putting archery in Dumaguete because that is where archery is strong, putting up training program in Zamboanga because weightlifting is strong, diving here in Panacan, in Davao, then others. So before Christmas, if we are able to put up a Philippine Sports Institute, we are preparing an executive order from the President. Out of that, when the 6 years of President Duterte is gone, we are able to put up a genuine grassroots sports program. That's number one on Duterte administration. Number two, strengthen the international training. Si Hidilyn is a product of a long journey. Nung dumating siya sa PEC, nobody takes care of her. She was not a part of the team from Zamboanga. So we help her, then we send her to Guangxi training, then competition. So we have the talent, an excellent coach, an international training, and breaks on international games. So next year we will have the Southeast Asian Game in Malaysia. In the 2018, we have Asian Games in Indonesia. Then 2019, we are planning to host the Southeast Asian Game either in Davao, Mindanao, or in Manila. 2020, that's the Tokyo Olympics where the target of Hidilyn is gold for President Duterte. So this is the series of activities. So, but ang iiwanan ng administration Duterte, totoong grassroots sports program.
Thank you, sir. And for the president, sir, you added a 2 million peso bonus for Hidilyn. Does this mean that nakukulangan po ba kayo doon sa incentives provided for in RA 10699? And if ever, are you looking at other possible incentives for future Olympians?
I'll give you the answer you'd like to hear. Medyo kulang. Nakikita ko the effort was not really, it was pegged at, actually, it's just the money na kaya nang ibigay rin ng isang opisina. For after all, you do not have an unlimited funds here. But maybe because I was overjoyed and because of the distinct honor that she brought home, and for all of the things that the other countries would look at us, at least a contender in any, because we can spring a miracle any day in any of the games that are coming our way in the future. Para bang nga, huwag kang magkumpiyansa dyan. Maya ganun lang yan. You never know. Si Miss Diaz is, di naman talaga, at I ask her permission, sabi ko, can I hold your just arm? Pinisil ko. Hindi naman masyado matigas. I was expecting kasi a muscled lady. I was quite surprised. If you look at her, she's just a lady. And one that is, you'd wonder if she was really into that business of weight lifting. Kaya, dinagdagan ko just to encourage people also that after a long and hard training, meron kang maibigay at maroon silang makuha sa kanilang pagod.
Thank you.
Honor is not easy to get by this day.
Thank you, sir.
Honor in sports, very hard. So many thousands competing, and you'd hardly can't believe that she's one of them.
Okay. Eunice Monte of PTV4.
Hi, sir. Good evening and congratulations, Ms. Hidilyn. Yung question ko po to Ms. Hidilyn, as an Air Force woman, second class, how do you think this will inspire other military men and women?
Sabi mo, sunod lang sila. I mean, ikaw, gaano kahirap mag-training all these years?
Inspire.
Tapos tabi ka ng commander-in-chief mo. Huwag kang mag-ano sa kanya, huwag mo kang mahiya.
Na-inspire ko yung mga Air Force family ko syempre, dinala ko yung Air Force din. Pangalan ng Air Force. Di lang dito sa Pilipinas, sa ibang bansa din. Then, siguro sa kahirapan ko rin or yung struggle ko, siguro nakikita nila. By that, ma-inspire ko sila sa buhay din.
To President po, sir, are we planning to...
Dagdagan ko na lang muna.
Sige po, sir.
That would be the second question you're about to ask. The first is the inspiration that this kind of thing will not come in a jiffy. I mean, it does not come just an overnight that you do this training for 1-2 weeks and then you get to be a champion, second place, silver. This is a process which is started many Ilang taong ka na nag-weightlifting?
14 years na.
Yeah, si 14 years. So that 14 years to others, they might tend it to be a very hard endeavor, or ano lang to, yung hanggang hindi ako makatagal ng ganun ka. So I said it's a long and winding road of sacrifice, and you do not get it without giving your maybe a bucket full of sweat and just training every day to go for the medal. I am sure that it was not she was not sure that alam niya mahirap, pero nakachamba nga na tayo. Hindi yan chamba. Pag bagay mo chamba yan, kakargahin mo yan . And the sacrifice alone and the honors and the recognition sa iyo, I'm sure that is what she is feeling now. Maybe it's just nahihiya magsabi na, well, first and foremost, hindi naman talaga kayo, ako mismo. Hindi ako makapaniwala na kaya ko yun.
She just came from a long trip, Mr. President.
Sa jet lag, maybe jet lag ka ba?
Rio to Dubai to Davao.
Ay, are you quite, hindi mo ba? It's okay that, ano yan, jet lag na yan?
Sir, are we planning to have a reward system po para sa mga atletang Pinoy natin?
Part of the incentive really, lalo na yung mga, pardon mo, do not be offended, I hope, hindi ako walang nasasaktan. Lalo na yung mga mahirap lang. And they get to work, maybe study and work, and not enough resources to train there. Almost that yan lang ang gawin mo for 14 years. That's a very tall order for an ordinary human being. So it needs a lot of dedication and a powerful motive. Yan ang wala. Baski sino, after 2-3 years talagang mag-surrender ka. Paano ba to? Is it really a sports for me? Or am I going to transcend something? And these are the guys who transcend yung mga hirap sa buhay.
Thank you, sir.
Training and everything, and yet sa Air Force lang siya. Wala masyadong facility siguro. But given a chance, many others will follow. Ang nakita ko kasi, my observation at 71 years old sa buhay ko, is kung yung lalo na yung mga anak, ang tatay nasa weightlifting. Kung may anak yung 4-3, may isa talaga dyan na papasok ng ganong discipline also. Pag anak ng isang basketball player, star yan, you can be very sure that may isa dyan sa mga anak niyan papasok rin. That's almost a genetic connective.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations, Ms. Hidilyn.
Okay. Thank you, Eunice. Ayan Melihor of PNA. Okay.
PMS ka na ba? So PMS ka na?
PNA, may. Okay, Michael Flores of Nikkei.
Do not do that.
Sorry.
Why do you have to bend? Really, I'm not.
Okay. Thank you. Good evening, Mr. President. Congratulations, Ms. Hidilyn. Sir, I'd like Mikael Flores of Nikkei. Sir, I'd like to ask more on your meeting today with Foreign Minister Kishida of Japan. What did you discuss during the meeting, and what were the agreements that you have signed on top of what has already been announced in the past?
No, it was just
Thank
a
you.
verbal dialogue actually, but most of the talks were centered on the continued good relations, the bilateral relations between Japan and the Philippines, and the mutual pledge that we will continue to enhance our relations with Japan, and that they are also ready to extend help in all fields of governance, maybe agriculture and But some other countries have the money already. But like China, for example, there are so many billions of Chinese. They would need the resources of other countries to help feed the nation. Japan may not be able to really develop the line between us now, but there are a lot of Japanese investments here. And I said we would welcome more. We're putting economic zones everywhere in the country, at least in one region. And I assured them that we would accommodate you, and we would be happy if you come in also to help, especially in the employment aspect of our joint efforts. Trabaho para sa mga Pilipino, and I would assure them that they can have the profits. And in the coming days, we might be able to fix something in the Constitution. I was against before of selling the lands. I think that is my my stand. But I'm willing to change this 60-40 thing, make it more elaborate, maybe even if it's a half-half thing, as long as there are really, I think, a good investment where I can provide livelihoods for everybody. Yan ang kulang natin. Yeah, especially manufacturing in agricultural areas. Not manufacturing of, because we do not have that. We should start with not the hard metals, but the things that we might be able to export through their investments. Of course, sila lang rin ang may kailangan yan. That is a tat for tat. But we have to improve on the ratio of the business equation between the if you go into a natural resources thing, it's always 40-60, especially in public utilities, public conveyances, and in the exploitation of land.
Earlier this week, former President Ramos flew to Hong Kong to have a so-called Gulf diplomacy and fishing expedition, as he said it. And today you met with Foreign Minister Kishida of Japan. So how does this series of meetings or moves figure in our strategic approach to the South China Sea issue?
Well, we maintain good relations with everybody. China does not come in second. They're all first to us. The treatment is equal, based on mutual respect, and the guarantee that the business will be successful in a way because of government is there, and we give them the assurance that they can recover their investments plus the profits of yours.
Okay. Thank you. Jermelina Lacorte of the Philippine Daily Inquirer.
Let's give time to the spokesman of the left.
Oh, sir. Sir, can I ask about the libingan ng mga about the burial of the former president in the
Sabi ko na nga
libingan?
eh.
Sir,
Iyak mo na ako, sana lang. Kamati ang... Papaiyak ako sa iyo, totoo lang. Hindi, may pumasok na. Okay.
Sir, during your campaign, you promised that, you mentioned that you're going to consult with the marshal of victims, and then you also said that you're going to hold a plebiscite before deciding on the issue. I'm just wondering what, if this...
Yung burial,
Yeah,
to ask
sa
a
burial.
consensus.
the consensus.
Well, you see, I will have to spend again so many billions. Because it would be like electoral process. You get the sentiment of the Filipino. I don't think that I'm ready to spend billions again for just in the matter of a burial of a president. The law says that it does not even mention mga heroes. It simply says that if you are a soldier, and in another section of the law, there is that the presidents. So that's the law. Alam mo kasi kung ginusto nila, and they were already in power at the time, itong mga yelo, dapat nagpasa sila ng batas na hindi pwedeng ilibing si Marcos when the guy was already in Guam in exile. They should have passed a law prohibiting Marcos, if ever he comes home dead, to be buried in the libingan ng mga bayani. That's a generic title because not everybody there is a hero. Yung iba nag-retire, for the years that he has rendered service to his country, yan, ililibing yan. But it does not mean that he is really a hero in the sense of the true sense of the word. Hindi naman lahat yan na Medal of Valor. There are a few Medal of Valor awardees there, if you talk of heroes. But since the law says a soldier or a president can be buried in the libingan ng mga bayani. Nobody is questioning about his hero. I am not dwelling on his exploits. Kasi sabi nila, wala daw sa records sa congressional, I don't know where that office is. But since when tayo dependent on the records of another country to choose our who will be buried here? Sabi, wala bang doon sa record na nanalo siya ng mga medal ito? And so, why? Just because of that, your name does not appear in the United States? You mean to say that I will follow the United States and what the law says here? Ang sa United States, wala daw siyang recorded doon ng mga medalya. Correct. I will admit that. I will assume it to be true. Ipapapakit ako, why should I be dependent on the records of the United States? I am not a state of the United States. Guam and Hawaii are, but not me. Ang Pilipinas says, you need only to be a president and a soldier. Nobody is debating about heroes here. Assuming it to be true na wala siyang medalya or not validated by an American record, does not mean that he is not qualified to be buried there. So what's the objection? I would like to say that forget about the medals. Just focus on whether he's a Filipino, he fought for his country, and is once upon a time the president. That's the law. We cannot go out of the law. Hindi na ako makapagdebate, but we cannot go out of the law. That's the law of the land.
Sir, one of the conditions why the former President Ramos allowed his body to be brought back to the Philippines was for his body to be buried in Batak. So what can you say about it, sir?
What condition is that? You cannot amend a law by just a condition given by one person. The statement of a one person cannot be the law. The law is there existing. You can read it 1,000 times and you would still arrive at the conclusion that he is qualified. Even if he is not a hero, he was a soldier. He did not receive the medals, correct. But that is the record of another country. Then why would I, in making a decision, refer to the records of another country? We have long ceased to be the vassal state of the United States. Tapos na yan. It's history. I am dealing now. Mag-plebiscite ka, 99% ng all of the Ilocano race dito sa ating Pilipinas have this sentiment in our hearts, nasasaktan sila. Tayo, yung mga sa politika, mga yellow, you know very well that my mother was a leader of the yellow movement here. Tayo kasi ang galit natin. But you know, when I become president, I cannot be choosy and follow his sentiment vis-a-vis with the law. I cannot be despotic and everything and not a hero because there are no, the medals do not appear on the record of the United States. And the law, sana ginawa nilang batas na Marcos, because of his historic despotic regime, if that is what they want to tell us, should not be buried sa libingan ng mga bayani. Until and unless you repeal that law, he cannot be buried there. But nothing has been done. Bakit kinalimutan yung elementary procedure na yan? I am a president and I have shown my duty to follow the law, not to follow the sentiments of the political side, to the other side of the fence. You put me a quandary, what would be my basis in denying the burial, you meant to pronounce it, of Marcos sa libingan ng mga bayani? Because then I would be violating the law if I prohibit his burial in the libingan ng mga bayani.
Sir, how about if many people will protest? If many people will be against it?
Yes, I said I have my order. I gave it to the spokesman. I said we would allow the protest with the minimum of police officers just manning traffic so that your right to protest will be co-equal of the right of the other people to use the other half of the road so that they can travel and move. And I said, walang military dyan, walang police na anti-riot. And para sa akin, wala na, there's no need to permit. I'll give them a month to, I'll give them half of the streets to protest for 1 month. 2 months if they like. And if they want it, 3 months, bigay ko. Diyan sila. Walang police, walang, of course, it will paralyze traffic somewhere. It can cause congestion. Then, I'll put the issue to the people of Davao. No, sige, yan ang gusto nila. So I'll give them half of the streets. If they want to protest there for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, go. I'm allowing it. As president of this country, I am allowing it. I'll give it even half a year. Magprotesta sila. Walang military, walang police magsita sa kanila.
Okay. Thank you, Gal. Carla Lim of TV5.
Sino ito siya bago?
Yes, sir.
Mm.
Hello, sir. Good
Ano nangyari
evening.
kay Mia?
No, sir.
Zamboanga.
She'll be here with you tomorrow, Zamboanga. Ngayon lang.
Sa Buanga ka na-assign?
Hindi po. For today lang because of the visit of Foreign Minister Kishida.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Sir,
Parang hapon doon.
sir, I would like to go back on the issue of sports. Congratulations, Ma'am Heidi. Sir, you've mentioned a while ago that we would like to ameliorate our athletes. But looking at the records of the Philippines when it comes to Olympics, lahat ng record natin, individuals po, ang magagaling. But for the past years, it seems like the government is putting so much effort sa mga group games like basketball. So, dahil dito tayo magaling sa individual, are we going to focus more on per people na lang?
Yes, but you know, itong group sports, we are at its best with that kind of discipline. Kasi maliliit pa yung mga bata, tapos kami noon, ginagamit lang namin yung daan. we build a makeshift goal doon somewhere, and in andito sa Davao, makita mo, miniligyan ko sila. Pag may kanto dyan, and there's enough space to move around, dyan sila, right at the start, nagtitraining na ang mga bata eh. They love simply sports. The national sports is actually basketball. Now, individual is very hard because kagaya ng weightlifting, you have to search long and hard. In Manila, if you excel in the universities and colleges, you get noticed immediately. So, dyan ka na, kita itong bata na ito promising because she can jump at a distance. Well, itong mga sa probinsya, we sometimes have overlooked na hindi natin mga talents natin dyan because the recognition is focused only or most of the time focused dyan sa Manila. So, yan ang tama yan, we go one for Mindanao and then another one for Negros, Oriental, Occidental. Dumaguete is in Oriental and vegan. So, doon ang focusing natin, no need to really stare at Manila because mismo ang eskwelahan nila will take notice of that. At kung rising star ka, you will have the attention maybe, and I mean you get the attention, and somebody there would always invite you to enter this kind of discipline and train them. Doon sa probinsya wala tayong not even a focusing. Kung meron man yung mga athletic meets sa mga eskwelahan, pero it does not provide a good standard because hindi naman alam how they were trained and how hard was the rigorous training has been. And I said, makakita pa ba tayo ng iba? And also to equalize the opportunities of the Filipino athletes all over the country. Walang question sa Manila. No need to put up another facility there. The school itself, or some people there, somehow, would get notice of a talent when there is one.
So, sir, this is going to be the job of the LGUs na?
LGUs and the Philippine Sports Commission. They would start to look for ways, and they would get the attention of one in any place somehow because this will lalabas ito ng mga meet yung mga athletics. But then again, kung nag-excellan siya at one point in his time and there is really no training behind, somehow hindi kumpleto ho. We have to train hard.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Walang anuman po.
Ruth Palo, Dumandan from RGMA.
Kay Miss Hidilyn, good morning, President. Miss Hidilyn. Yung 7 million na napanalunan niyo at binigay ni President, saan niyo po gagamitin?
Plano kong bumili ng lupa sa site ng bahay namin. Tapos patayuan ko din ng weightlifting gym. Yun po. Yung iba, wala pa pong plano.
Mukhang BIR ang tatanong dito sa atin. Can you move on to another question, please?
Okay. Kay Sir Butch, sir, yung sa construction ng facilities para sa Negros at sa Zamboanga, may timeline tayo doon on how much budget?
Alam mo, the mayor, the president, while he's very generous, he's also very frugal. So what we do now, we're limited income. There are many sports facilities of both government and private. Magmumuha lang kami doon. We'll buy all those materials, collaborate with local government, with TIPED, and put up the training center. So we can have a grassroots sports program. But what is very vital in this grassroots sports program, we will have an institute of sports where it is a source of coaches education, sports sciences, sports psychology, sports nutrition. Nawala tayo, naiiwanan na tayo. So, may tanong pa nga, ang problema doon ng Philippine sports pera, hindi lang, rich or poor country has a problem of money. But if you have a master plan, then from there, you focus on few sports because we have limited income. Then, go to the sports where the Filipino will excel. Weightlifting, boxing, archery, cycling and others, then there is a big chance of winning in the Olympics. But at any rate, the Constitution of the Philippines cited that it is the duty of the state to focus on the vibrant citizenship so that we can have healthy citizens. From there, we can have formation, discipline, character formation. Bonus na lang yan sina Hidilyn. That's why, kung wala tayong grassroots sports program, bara-bara lang, wala talaga mangyayari. So, we will take advantage of the leadership of President Duterte that before mag-Pasko, we can have that Institute of Sports. Naiiwanan tayo sa buong Asia eh. Wala tayong eskwela, wala. Kasi, look at our boxers. We were very good. Pero somehow, somewhere, nagkukulang yon. And ang prescription ng European sports science. So, we are getting Filipinos who excel in Hong Kong na galing Davao sa Pilipinas. Nakaproduce siya, Mr. President, ng gold sa Olympics sa Hong Kong. So, kukunin natin siya. Hindi kailangan foreigner eh. We have Filipinos have talent. I-pull natin yan sa Ultra, rehab the Rizal Memorial, and save those money that we save for Olympic training, international training, buy equipment to put up in the training center. We can have 14 training center all over the country and we have people assigned there, collaborate with local government. Dadami yung talento, dadami yung Hidilyn Diaz. So I'm very confident on this because during our time when I was in Davao City, the president sent me to Australia. When I became chairman, I traveled many countries and went to the institute. So getting all these things, the Philippines will really put up that Institute of Sports. It's not about money because if we have a good master plan, the private corporation will help us. And I can see that within these 4 years to 6 years, we'll be leaving a legacy in Philippine sports.
Okay, lastly, Sir Butch, matagal na itong concern. Speaking of talents din pala, are you not going to, or do you have plans to tap itong mga lumad? Kasi mabilis na itong tumakbo. At saka itong mga badyaw.
Ganito yan. Ang Philippine sports, hindi na, there are areas, we have sports for women, we have sports for indigenous, we have sports for children and others. But itong elite athletes are very, very important. So, out of these grassroots sports, if there are talent, yun ang i-scholar natin, focus natin. But the indigenous is more on unifying it. It's about human development. Sabi nila magaling daw indigenous archery. Pero yung archery sa Korea, sa Canada, ibang klase yun. But I think we will provide them with indigenous game parang to unify the tribes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Ruth.
On a larger picture, my friend, we do not spend so much time looking at the indigenous people and looking for the talent. Nor other areas of sports like the badyaws or adept in swimming, because the opportunities really is open to every Filipino with no special focusing on a tribe because it will not look good. Pilipino tayo lahat. Kung meron talagang isang luma dyan, isang one of the indigenous tribes, we will go for it because lalabas yan sa mga collegiate sports or lalabas yan eh. So because if they're studying, then we would get the talent. Kasi sa mga eskwelahan, magsabi mo talaga yan na mayroon kami ditong mahusay. So but just to go to turn your camera on the badyaws, and you must get a badyaw there or the indigenous, it's not the rule. It is open to everybody. You might just as well focus it on the Visayan tribe and the Tagalog tribe here and the Ilocano. Just because they are or the originals of this country, lahat naman tayo evolve. Other tribes flourish, blossom. Other tribes remain to be indigenous in the sense that they are considered at the lower end and not much time given to them to be recognized. Pero lahat yang may i-focus mo just because indigenous sila, they must be recognized on their own merit. They have to go to school and study. Mahirap na maghunting ka ng isang mahusay doon na They would be very good at in marathons, for example. They have the endurance. They climb mountains all day, and it seems as if it's just nothing fancy about walking the 10 kilometers up and down. So if you allow them to run on flat grounds with the proper training, they would be good. Talagang may endurance yan sila. I mean, the nature takes over. It's the muscles. It's a genetical order of the tribes. Parang, I will answering the father. I'm giving just also my 2 cents worth of how I look at things.
Ayan Melior.
Good evening, sir. I understand you'll be traveling to Holo tomorrow. Are you meet?
Bakit mo alam secret yan? Sino ay sabi sa'yo niyan?
Balita na po.
Sino? Sabi ko secret kasi alam na ninyo, napunta ako ng Oh.
Are you meeting with the MNLF chair, Nur Miswari?
This is what it means to Miswari. I'm just reading his thoughts. I think he loathes to go there just because there's a warrant for his arrest. And he does not want to go there just to be freed for so many hours and not to walk again around freely after I'm gone. Parang it does not sit well with his thinking. But I'm sure he'll be sending an emissary. But if he's there tomorrow, anywhere in Sulu, and he'd want to meet me, I will go there. I will go there. Walang problema yan. Kaibigan kami. If he wants to talk to me, kung nandoon ako. But I'm just there also to papasalamat sa mga tao. I may not be able to visit every nook and corner of Pulo. But just the same, if I can make the symbolic gesture of thanking them, alam mo, this is no politics anymore. Nag-landslide ako sa Sulu. I won in Basilan, Siasi, all of the areas there. Same for the Moro. And I'll not just elaborate why, but I'd like to thank them. And my drug campaign, netting some of the politicians in Lanao, does not mean that there's a reason behind it. Gusto ko lang sabihin na wrong is wrong, but for your help in making me president, I'd like to visit you. I have to go back to Samal, as, no, it's Lanao del Sur rather, hindi Samar. Tignan ko kung anong nangyayari doon.
So what's the prospect?
Lanao del Sur, I mean.
So what's the prospect of Miswari to participate in the tripartite review of the 1996 agreement?
When I make the declaration, Miswari can go out and anywhere he wants to go. Fine with me.
Thank you, sir.
I have told everybody that there is a warrant of arrest for Miswari. Now, Miswari is getting old. I'm not saying that he's sick, but with this fragile condition of his age, he does not need to be pursued. And I do not want him detained under. It's better that he stays there. We know that he stays there. Wag na lang dito na kunin pa natin at ikulong natin. Because if something happens to Miswari, when he is under within his control, he's detained by us, by government, you can never have a talk again with the Tausugs. Pag may nangyari dyan kay Miswari, detenado sa atin, malaking problema yan. As in malaki. So you lose the the chance, even if it's a small one, to have a peace talks with anybody there. Delikado yan. And even season. Kung yung may nangyari sa whatever, ma-atake or hindi natin kagawan, o wala naman tayong gawin, but there are these, what you would call the imponderables of life. You would never know. Like kung ordinaryong tao lang yung drug pusher dyan, you can whack him all night inside the prison. But for this kind of people who have the leadership of a good number of Filipinos, kagaya nitong they might not really be many in numbers, but still, they command respect because of what they believe in. It's a matter of principle yan. When the guy is driven by a purified principle to do better or to give another set of things that they are experiencing now, somehow it invites respect. Ano yung taong may prinsipyo eh. And you must remember that it's not the person, it's the ideology which they believe in. Kasi ano man talaga, they are fighting because they want a better chance for the people. That is what they believe in. Ayan lang naman naman itong demokrasya natin kasi may corruption, gano'n, kung ano-ano na lang. Well, we're coping it up with the laws of the land. They want to take over through force of arms, and that is the problem, that they can present a better, adapt a better setup for the Filipinos. The problem is the armed struggle. And if you've noticed all these years, I've always been more leaning to the left center. So because karamihan sa atin gano'n naman. We just don't know it, but we hate abuses, we loathe corruption, and itong the hardships that being imposed upon the people now, itong drugs. At kung hindi ako na presidente, then we would never know the widespread and the dimensions of drug addiction in this country. How would you know kung may iba no nanalo? When yung military aid niya mismo is there on the list of narco politics. You say that it's a product of I'm only 2 months, more than 2 months anyway. Hindi namin trabaho yan. That long list, sabi nila, luma. Hindi yun luma, mga gago. Pinalabas ko sa lahat. Kagaya nung pinatay dyan sa Apayao somewhere na nahukay nila yung because the brother finally squealed that his brother who was killed 2 years ago placed it there. Dug a hole there and nilagyan niya. So gusto ko malaman ng buong bayan na yung pinatay na yung gagong yun kasi connected sa drugs. And it got us only up to now to discover that the idiot was really into drugs. And they could have produced with the precursor, niluto yun, precursors ang tawag niyan. Mga ricados yan, sibuyas, kamatis, pag inilagay mo, it produces shabu. Eh, bakit ko yung patay? Yung judges. O, gusto ko malaman, ito, I have another round of expose. Sasabihin ko na ngayon kung bakit. The others, I do not want to repeat I got this tangled with the Chief Justice. I would apologize to the Chief Justice for the harsh words. It was never intended. But ako kasi, because of the magnitude of the problem, it was my way of solving the problem within the ambit of my powers as president. I feel, kayo ang humihingi eh. Even the media. when are you going to labas ninyo yung mga judges? And you've been demanding from me, every time I face you, somebody of you will just stand up and say, when are you going to reveal a list where the judges are there? And you are demanding the information. FOI, Freedom of Information. Pwede ninyong hingiin kung anong opisina. Mas lali na ninyo pwede hingiin sa presidente. I mean, if you can get it anywhere, invoking the right of information in the Constitution, public office, public trust, kasali na yan. So as president, I need not really go into the notions of warrant of arrest and everything. That is not my job. My job is just to inform the people of their surroundings so that they may avoid harm and danger. That is all there is to it. I do not have to ask anybody na kailangan ko pang may mag-expose. At yung sabi niyo yung iba, kayo na rin mismo ang naghingi. Well, in accordance with the freedom of information, ako mismo ang pumirma. Ang Congress wala pa. It's still pending there. And I can only control the behavior and work sa executive department. Down the line, Defense Secretary, Chief of Police, the National Police, then the Chief of Staff of the Army, down to the last. Kontrolado ko kasi ang armed forces, pati police, simply because I'm the commander-in-chief. Ayun ang problema dyan. So, sino ba na may gustong sirain yung tao? Is that the duty of a president to ruin people's reputation? Especially even the dead? Kalukuhan niya. Trabaho ko kasi yan. Kung ako nalagay sa presidency, pakialam kung sino, ubusin mong adik ang Pilipinas, for all I care. But I happen to be president and I have this one duty to, para malaman mo na yung katabi mo, adik, bantay ka dyan, kaya yung mga anak mo, kalaro-laro lang yan ng basketball, maya, nagbarkada na yan ng kapitbahay mo. O bantay ka dyan, kaya yung adik na yan, either pasukin ka sa bahay, nakawan ka, o kung wala ka, pagdating ng tupak, hatsahin yung mga tao doon, rape yung, lately, chop-chop yung pamilya, parang karne. There's really slaughter going on. My God. Ang problema nito, ang pinapatay, ang mga inosente. Saan kayo happy? Pinapatay ko yung mga kriminal o at least yung alam ko na kriminal? O yung namamatay yung mga bata, baske saksak, inaakyat ng bahay, kasi naging demonyo na ang tatay, high na, kay binulungan daw siya ng anghel na patay niya tatay niya kasi which is the trade-off? How many are dead? Nearing 900? O bilangin mo ilang ang tao na massacre since drugs set into our environment here in the Philippines. You can count, you begin to count the many useless deaths of innocent people because of drugs. Kaya ako pinusta yung sabi ko, honor my life and the presidency. Maski na yan lang ang gawain ko para sa bayan ko, pag medyo nalinis ko to, if there's a shortening of term, I am ready to go out. Totoo lang. Para sa akin, it's not really in the presidency. But what I can do to my country, even for the shortest time. Hindi ko kailangan 6 years. Sabi ko, go ahead, amend the Constitution, introduce the federal setup. And if it's there, it provides a presidency for which I will not be eligible also, I would not wait for an election. Mag-resign na ako. Giveaway.
Thank you, sir.
Even if it's just 2 years, fine. You do it in 3 years, okay ako. Walang problema.
Thank you, sir.
You have my word of honor.
Sia Capistrano, then Edith Regalado after.
Sir, good evening po. Sir, a group of surviving comfort women would like to have a dialogue with you if they would get the chance. Magkakaroon po ba or maaasahan po ba ang isang dialogue with the President Duterte and the group of
Dialogue is very easy. Anybody is welcome there in Malacanang.
Okay.
It's open to all people who would want to go there.
Okay po. Pwede pong malaman na President kung ano po ang stand ninyo dito sa issue ng comfort women po.
Well, it is not it's not really my stand. It's not important to me. It's important of how we can correct the wrongdoing.
Okay.
My stand is I might join them in shouting. I might join in getting even violent. But for the other side, I cannot give you my opinion on this because if I go there, sabihin ng kabila, you come here not really to negotiate or to have a dialogue because you have this mindset. Mahirap yan. You can get an outright rebuke there. Kung sabihin lang, pwede ba natin ito pag-usapan? Sabihin, bakit? Ano bang problema? Yung Second World War, this was this practice of providing comfort. Well, sabi ko, can we talk about this? Because a lot of my constituents are claiming serious wrong which have to be corrected. Pero kung magsabi ka doon, when you say with the mindset that we are here to demand remuneration and everything damage, wala na.
Okay. Edith Regalado.
Why are you looking at me?
Sir, good evening po, sir. First, on the question on sports, si Onyok Velasco has been claiming yung 2.5 million niya, hindi pa siya nababayaran, all those things. What government can do about it? Or, I don't know, but it has passed through many administration. And the second question is, okay, we have gone this far in your fight against drug addiction. Okay, andito na yung purging and everything. But can we look at it in a longer term? What if you would not be around already? Ganon, mga ganon na kasi it would give rise to new groups, to new personalities and everything. So, anong measures na gagawin mo to make sure that these things won't happen?
I have to destroy the apparatus. Time and again, I've told you that the operation sa Shabu is no longer being orchestrated in the Philippines. They have gone back to somewhere and they direct the traffic from the foreign country where they have this digital map. At any time, real time, makafocus sila dito sa Panakan where we are talking now. And they are listening to us now. You can be very sure of that. Very sure. I'm very, very sure of that. Na ngayon, ang ginamit lang dito yung mga lieutenants, yung mga kapo lang nila dito sa local. And the next level is garbage. Yung mga police na they're helping either the selling, protecting the PNP, some but not all. They have become the verdugo of the drug trade industry in the Philippines. So, I have to destroy even the slightest. Kasi for as long as may naiwan dyan, mayaman man o mahirap, makapagbili mo ng baong o hindi baong. Kabaong, hindi. Lungon yan sa amin eh. Better learn Bisayan. Kabaong man hindi. The problem would still persist and they have destroyed so many hundreds of thousands of lives. Had I known I would be facing this kind of horrible problem, magdadalawang isip ako. Because ito you cannot destroy by just. In my 23 years of my mayorship, wala akong nakonbinsi dito na patapik-tapik lang. Adre, magbago ka na. Eventually, patay yan kasi talagang they go on whether wala akong choice. By the time I should, wag lang kung mamatay ako earlier, then yung magsunod sa akin should, but ako, you give me 6 years, it will be something like, it is 100% ang problema natin ngayon. I would leave you something about 10 to 5%. I cannot totally erase it. Pero mag-warning lang ako. Yung nandyan ngayon, patago-tago lang kayo, hindi kayo nag-surrender. Mag-isip-isip kayong mabuti. Sabi ko na nga, magpa-reserve na kayo ng kabaong pati yung sa cemetery. Kasi kung bilihin mo ngayon, mas mura eh. Hindi kayo tatagal. Kasi alam ko, pag nahuli kayo, lalaban kayo eh. Most are because katok na kayo. You have this paranoia. Paranoid. Kaya lahat ng may sumusunod sa akin. Yung asawa ko nangaliwa. Ganon yung style, di ba? Ang asawa ko, binubugbog niya kasi nangaliwa. Wala na eh. Forever suspicious. So, yun ang nangyari. At saka may baril yan. Alam kasi nila na mamamatay rin sila. Kaya lumalaban. Ngayon sinasabi ng mga bakit itong sa police, nakita mo, drama is namatay na, arrested. Alam mo kasi, maski ako, bakit kayo pupunta doon mag-isa? Every time that they go in for an arrest, there are always 4 or 3 or 4. Grupo yan ng police. They are into teams eh. Ngayon, pag isa ka lang o dalawa ka, pagka nag-abot kayo ng isang kanto, nagkahulihan, bubunot talaga ng baril yan. Eh, ang police ready to shoot yan. Kasi alam niya na pupunta siya dyan, sa lugar na yan, para makipagbarilan. Alam niya may baril yung isa. Ito namang isa, lumabas ng bahay para magbenta. So when they are surprised, yun. Bakit na talo palagi na lumaban sa police talo? Natural. Paglapit ng isang police dyan, yung tatlo nakatutok na. Pag nagkamali ka ng bunot, yung patay ka. Hindi man yung tinanong kung ilan ang tao. Akala siguro ninyo hinuli ng police 1-on-1. Hindi ho yan ganun. Pagka pumasok yung police, may 4 pa yan dyan sa likod, may 3. Yung iba may dala pa ng M16. Eh, isang putok niya, 2-3 bala, pasok talaga sa katawan yan. Walang police dito na pumapasok dyan sa raid na mag-isa. So yung police will go in prepared to shoot, prepared to kill, and also prepared to die. O kita mo yung mga police na pumasok silang mag-isa, 2. Yung isa nagserve, di patay. Ganon yan. O tignan mo yung sa magsaysay, alangan, pumasok, butit na lang, nabuhay.
Sir, curious lang po ako along that line. With what's happening now with the political side, with Chief Justice and everything, with all the, have you had all these things figured out while you were campaigning or during the election, that things would happen this way once you get elected?
Ikaw naman.
Sir, wala, nagtatanong na ako.
Kala mo hindi ka taga Davao, bumutok ka nga sa akin eh.
Yeah, I mean, what's happening now?
I know that I was the favorite whipping boy of the NGOs and the human rights stalwarts. But I have a very special she's a government official. One day soon, I will bitawan ko yan in public. And I will have to destroy her in public.
Any clue?
That's the riddle there. Hintay lang kayo. Akala nila na hindi rin ako nakikinig sa kanila. So, while all the time, they were also listening to what I've done, I've also been busy and with the help of another country, listening to them. So, it's mali daw yun. It's unlawful sa recto law. Kagaya sa kanila, yung mga shabu, pag hindi mo nahuli sa possession nila, wala man silang kaso. Ako, pag hindi mo ako naghuli, nakikinig ako sa iyo, wala rin ako. Sabihin ko, wala. That's what you call instant crimes. Either they have to be there and they have to get something from you.
Yung ano po sir, yung kay Onyok, yung issue on the 2.5 million.
Ay, kiniisip ko nga, sandali ha. Wala pa kasi ako, hindi pa ako tapos sa isa, huwag kang magmadali. Yung, I will just time it when there's may hinihintay lang kasi ako na parang go signal. Dito kay Onyok, I think it was a promise. Who made the promise? Because if it is a
96 pa ata.
yeah, correct. But was there an appropriation money? Was it included in the budget? And who promised him?
Promise lang. Yeah.
Yeah, ang nag-promise sa kanya, tanungin natin, was there money available at the time of his return? Or was there a money program included in the budget as a reward?
Yeah.
Kung wala, ay we'll just have to include it in the budget. I did not make any promises. Kasi yung pagpanalo niya, I was not around then sa Malacanang even. Mag-promise ka nga, yung may budget na ang pera. Kasi hindi kami makahawak ng pera na hindi namin gastusin. Or gastusin namin for some other purpose. That would be malversation of public documents or technical malversation. Robbing Peter to pay Paul, ika nga. Here is one item dedicated for this budget, for this item, for this purpose. Then you use the money for another project, which is not programmed there under the law. And that would you would be called robbing Peter to pay Paul. It's an idiomatic expression, by the way.
Thank you, Edith. Okay ka ba for another question?
Sus Mariusep, I have prepared for this.
Kasi may si Pearl.
Sabi ko sa kanila, breakfast na lang tayo. Hindi pa kumain itong...
Last question, I think, from Pearl Gaonera of Manila Standard.
Sir, tanong ko lang po kung napag-usapan niyo ni Foreign Minister Kishida kanina yung tungkol sa subway ng Metro Manila, Tutuban, tsaka Malolos, Bulacan. Kasi last year po, pinirmahan na po yun ni President Aquino.
Yes, I don't know what is holding up the start. Gusto ko nga, ako apurado kasi ako, I've been telling people na kung sino yung nag-promise. For the information of the human rights and everybody actually. The military way, when I said that I would provide this space, I have traveled far and wide between these two countries looking into the military camps. Isa yung purpose ko. I was not there yung purpose ko, tinitignan ko kung saan ang pinovide nila. So every camp here, every military camp all over the country, had already sliced a certain portion of their military camps for the rehabilitation. Hinihintay ko lang yung prefab model, prefabricated na model para lagyan ng mga drug. So, mga 600,000, I don't know how much we can accommodate in the barracks. But I will build them in due time. Naghihintay lang ako sa mga prefabricated materials to put up the building. Yan ang hindi nyo alam. Kaya ako nang umiikot sa buong military camps, titignan ko saan yung ninyo. Well, aside from visiting the troops also, my main purpose was really to see how my order was, if it was implemented at all. 10 more questions. Oh.
Oh, quick last question from Ian.
Oh, may nalimutan.
Hindi sir, iba to. Yung sa Kuwaiti ambassador, ang napag-usapan ba yung Pilipina na sinasabing involved daw sa ISIS?
Wala.
Kanina?
But it would not really be a wonder to him and to me because we have it here, they have it there. I have been informed that a lot of Caucasian-looking people conducting teachings. Walang armas, wala lahat except in the guise of education.
Sir,
They are foreigners, and I told the military to validate it and arrest all of them, and we will deport them
sir,
for acts inimical to.
kay Hidilyn po, may promotion ka daw sa Air Force. Granted na raw na 1 rank higher ka. Anong masasabi mo?
Siyempre po, masaya na parang na-recognize nila yung ginawa ko. Then, nag-1 rank higher ako.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. That ends our briefing for tonight.
Oh, ikaw yung apurado dyan. Dito ka magtingin sa akin.
Okay, last question. Ron Galungsod from Kyodo News.
Ano yung kanya?
Kyodo.
Sir, may
Kyodo
gabi,
News.
sir.
Oh.
Ron Kalunsod sa Kyodo News, Japanese news agency, sir. Sir, ako lang i-clarify, did you and former Foreign Minister Kishida actually discuss the South China Sea disputes and the
Yes.
tribunal? And
I would not lie to you, yes.
And how did you discuss?
Well, I told them our position, and it's also, you will go for it. Actually, I said I made a soft landing there, just not to start hostilities at this time of our lives. And he said that Japan will do the same. They just want dialogue. They do not want further incursions. Sabi ko, well, that is what we are also adapting. And discuss, maybe we can get together, the ASEAN and Australia. So I have no problem with that. I will attend if it is to the interest of my country.
Did Mr. Kishida convey an invitation for you, sir, to go to visit
Yes.
Japan?
I have the standing that has been extended to me right at the start of my administration when they visited me in Davao City. They extended the invitation for me to visit Japan. I said, well, I may go there. It has to be on summertime because I'm worried of my immediate contingent. They might get pneumonia and baka mamatay yan doon, mapoproblema pa ako.
Sir, finally, sir,
The coldness actually does not fit us. So.
Yes, sir. Sir, final point. Sa comfort women issue, sir, so actually you are willing to bring it up to Japanese government to convey the concerns of the comfort
Anyway,
women?
yes. If I go there, or if I can get to talk to them again, I would just talk about comfort women and what we intend to do. But I cannot go there with the mindset because if I do that, my language will be different. I demand that I have to present the problem, point out the victims, and we start to talk. Depende ko kasi the most important thing there, in any language, in any, is yung mindset mo. Ano ka ba? Kasi kung if you go in raging mad, wala. Sira.
Okay. Dagan kayong salamat.
In a way, are you, why have you been missing? Yeah? Kailan, magbalik pa yun si Mia? I'm not trying to, sabi ko lang kasi wala eh. Actually, I've missed her in so many. Magpunta solo. Bong.
Pwedeng
Di ba landing mata sa Bangga? Ang aeroplano? Hindi tayo daan sa Bangga. Kasi si Mia, paano na lang siya? But she's traveling to... wow. Oh, silang dalawa ni ano. Good. We leave Doris behind. Di awag ito, bibiro lagi. Kasi kung magdaan ako ng Zamboanga, bakantihan ko ng dalawa yung upuan sa aeroplano para ikarga ko rin sa helicopter. Yung pala, magdiretso na kami sa Kulo. Well, wish me luck. I just would like to tell to everybody and to the Tausug Nation that we need to talk. We need to have peace for our children. Wala na tayo. Tayo wala na. Addicted na. Kasali na yan sa mga victims. But the next generation must be saved. And that is why do not do anything that will endanger the second generation. Huwag mong gawin yan kasi talagang hindi kita papalusutin. Kung mag-isip kayo ng ibang, better forget it. Magtiis na lang kayo ng walang shabu. Because hindi ko kayo palulusutin if you destroy the second. Yung mga mayor na, pati senador, pati presidente, di addict na. Loko na. And they would have their hands full of solving what is there to solve.